Hello and welcome to this brand new episode of The Cover, a show where we share a sneak peek of the latest Business Today magazine with all our viewers. I'm Sakshi Batra, and with me on this show I have Nilanjan Das, Group Editor, Creative Editor, and also Bandeep Singh, Group Photo Editor of the Business Today magazine. And both of them will be discussing the latest issue, the behind the scenes, and all that you can really expect in the upcoming luxury issue. Welcome to both of you on this cover show and on Business Today TV. Well, I'm really excited to speak to both of you to really understand how did this magazine really come about. So Nilanjan, let me start off with you. Help us with what was your idea before you started working on this luxury special issue, the brief that you were giving to all your team, and how it has come about. Has it matched your thought process and vision as well?
See, designing a luxury issue purely based on business is always a challenging job. So, very beginning with my art director Anirban as well as other guys in my team in BT, we started planning about the grid as well as the type of fonts we're going to use in the magazine. So it's a challenge because if I make it look like more kind of a lifestyle form, it will won't look like a business as well. So we started playing around with couple of fonts, and we end up
True.
with a special font called Lenora, which is a very interesting font. Which we, if we put it on a business magazine in a luxury segment, it looks like a luxury, but as well as it goes well with other business fonts, because this is a part of the magazine, the luxury issue, and so other pages are all need to be synchronized with that. So it's seamlessly matched with the rest of the magazine, and the grid was much more open, a lot of white space. If you see a lot of big pictures, a nice kind of headline placement, as well as very simple. See, luxury doesn't mean we have to populate with bling and a lot of interesting stuff around, but we played it in a white space, which makes it more kind of a royal feel to it. So that was a challenging part, but as well as the pictures as well, because that has to seamlessly go with the article, and the look and feel is a very important part. The colors we have chose, the borders, the lines and graphic lines we have created. If you see all the drop cap we have used, drop cap is the beginning of the letter we used on on any story. That also designed in a specific
Right.
manner. So these together came in, and it became a symphony. And it was a very different approach this time, because Business Today being a absolutely contemporary and modern looking magazine. So it went well with the photo as well as the article, and it together came well, absolutely amazing.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have even thought of that. You would talk about the fonts, the thought process behind selecting of the fonts goes, the borders, the colors, all of this that enriches the look of the magazine. Bandeep, what about you? What did you start off with when you began working on this issue? Was it the cover photo or was it something else?
See, a very important component of a luxury issue is that it needs to look luxurious. It needs to announce luxury even before you open the issue. And that begins with the cover. So the cover image, the cover story was truly international this time, about Bulgari and its association with India. Now that was it was a very interesting cover story. I had photographed the Bulgari CEO in Rome, and we were trying to put that image on the cover. It was luxurious, it was exclusive, but then we had to have an India connect, and that India connect came with the Priyanka Chopra being chosen as the brand ambassador for Bulgari in India. And there were series of images of Priyanka with the CEO of Bulgari, but those images had, they were all press conference images, and they were, I mean, we could not get, there were no other pictures of both of them together. The business part of the story had to have the CEO, and for the luxury part, we had to have Priyanka Chopra wearing the Bulgari jewelry. And so what we did was we took the image, changed the background to a very luxurious looking pink, which was also the color of their last collection, which was the Wild Pop collection, which was released in Rome in 2 years back, 3 years back. And so we used that, and the cover came alive. Anirban did a beautiful job in recreating the cover with the pink backdrop. And then came the big part about getting the images inside the magazine, and now apart from the images that go in the listicles, which are mostly images that come from the companies, or sometimes we use stock images. So they have a particular stock image feel about them. We needed to break that. We needed to create an expansive feel. So the photo essay was a very important component of this, because that is our the own BT property, and we take a pick of Indian luxury, the best, the creme de la creme of Indian luxury, and then treat it with our the best of photography that we can do, and then we put those images out. And it was very exciting to do those images, because this time we did those images with using a dancer, and
Right, absolutely.
we created we used we collaborated with a Bharatanatyam dancer who brought alive the entire images of the photo feature. You will see as the images have been created. A very interesting image is in the opening image of the photo feature, where we see a Alok Lodha diamond necklace, put around the mudra of the hands, and that
Wow.
is an image where we combine the classical Indian aesthetics of dance with the idea of Indian luxury,
Wow.
gemstone in Indian jewelry, and we combine the two together. The next image is a rug, completely imagined as a cosmic deity. The rug as a abstract cosmic deity, where you see the dancer almost like a Shiva-esque presence behind the rug.
Wow.
So a two-dimensional rug being given a cosmic feel, because the rug comes from a collection known as the Brahmand, which means the cosmos. We
That's
also looked
amazing.
at.
There was also another, I got a sneak peek while working on behind the scenes too. A shoe placed on the leg. What was the idea behind that? And I'm sure
Oh,
the
that was
viewers will be watching out for that one.
so that was a little, tongue-in-cheek image of a male shoe on a feminine leg. You know,
Yeah.
it was to look at the whole idea of. Um, it was intended to be a sensual kind of image, with the parallels of the masculine shoe on a feminine form, so that
Yes.
it was very interesting to bring out the play. It is only on second viewing that you
Hmm.
understand that it is a feminine form on which the shoe is being
Sure.
placed. It was
Sure.
playing on the contrast between the two.
Sure. Sure.
Nobody
Absolutely.
nobody complains against sensuality, Sakshi.
Well, absolutely. And if it is in a luxury issue, absolutely welcome right there. Nilanjan, let me bring you in yet again. Help us understand what other special features readers can expect to see, some innovations that you brought about in this particular issue.
See, most of the articles are very distinctly designed. In the sense, ki, as Bandeep said, the photo feature itself is in a art format. So if you look at the magazine now, it looks like more kind of a art representation of design, as well as luxury in presence in a form of art. So design was challenging, because when you got pictures like those, you have to be careful how you play around with the headline and subheads and the whole design part of it and the grid part of it. So, but it was a struggle, but eventually it came out pretty well. If you see the whole magazine, it's a combination of each chapter lends to another. It's not abrupt anywhere. There's a seamless design throughout the package. If you see from very beginning of an article to the end of it, it's a seamless reading as well, and visual navigations is much more easier because of those white space. Because if you know, in design, most important part is what to let go, because for a designer, you are always excited and very much connected to your design. It's like your little child. You have to give him everything, but not mess up giving everything, and end of the day the design looks horrible. So in
Sure.
that sense, I have to let go a lot of my feelings.
But what was your favorite part about this luxury issue?
See, the most important part was how we plan to choose those typography and the grid, because challenging was there were so many issues, back issues. Like every year we do a luxury issue. How is going to be different this time? There is
Yes.
always a
Yes.
fatigue value to it. Whenever you look at it, oh, it's the same magazine. No, it's
Right.
not. And because this time we, particularly the designers and the art director, took a special kind of attention to detail, and we came up with a new format which looks totally different from the earlier issues. So if you go up to our back issues in luxury issues, you will see it's a totally different approach. Even the cover itself, if you see the colors, the pink which the art director used, it's absolutely creates kind of a contemporary look to the magazine as well. And if you see that picture, which is, it looks like it's seamlessly merged with the background. So these kind of things were very important part of the whole process, and the process being not easy because we have a tight deadline, extremely tight deadlines, and we have to work around it. So it was not easy, but
Yeah.
still at the end of it, the art department and the art directors and all of us created a product which we are really proud of, and it will be a talked about issue actually.
I'm sure it is going to be a very talked about issue. So Bandeep, like Nilanjan pointed out, every year it's a bigger challenge to outdo ourselves. Produce an issue which is much better than before. With every issue, what was the challenge this time around for you? What were the things that were different from the last year's issue? And also your favorite photograph, if I should ask you.
Uh, the images, see, the core images that we did for the photo feature were the most challenging, because we were, I mean, those images we don't shoot like photographs. We shoot like, you know, they cross over into art, and the aim was to produce art with the deadlines of a magazine, and all the complications of the magazine. But one of my most favorite part in the magazine is a story that you were involved in, is of Mohanjit Garewal, and to me that is a very big part, the real meat of this issue. To have somebody as exclusive as Mohanjit Garewal, the grand old lady of Indian fashion, who first broke ground, taking Indian crafts, Indian weaves, Indian designs abroad. I never knew that there was something called a mini sari, that existed as a design form, as a fashion design form. Even despite our exposure to fashion, I never
Yeah.
knew that. And you did that story, and I remember, I mean, the complications of that story.
Yes.
There's no power in the house, sitting in the sweltering humidity of Delhi, in that house in Nizamuddin, where you're seeing this gorgeous lady, talk about, unravel her past, unravel her, stories about how the creme de la creme of the international society came to shop at her store in Paris. The picture of her lying on the sofa, you know, like the grand old dame of Indian fashion, holding a
Yeah.
fan to her face, with a spirit shining through. That is my favorite image of the magazine.
Thank you so much, Nilanjan, and thank you so much, Bandeep, for being with us and sharing with all our viewers what really goes behind all the efforts of the design team, of the photography team. Everybody comes together to create what they read, and that finally gets into their hands. I'm sure this will be the most talked about issue of this year. That's what I'm hoping, just like how Nilanjan put it. Thank you so much. It's been great speaking with both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.